Hello,
Welcome. Go ahead.
hello, swoopers. Hit it, buddy.
Welcome, swooper friends, to yet another Moisture Farm podcast where we know how to make things sticky, whether it's the sand or your imagination. Today we're going. to, he hates the sand. Today we're going to talk about Legends of the Force spoilers. The entire set has been spoiled finally, and
Huh?
for better or for worse, and I think for the better, and we can get into that. Um, we will touch base on the book club and where that's at. Sadly, there hasn't been much progress, but we'll get there. Um, but first, today we have a special sponsor. Thanks to Legends of the Force, our sponsor is Ogdo Bogdo. Ogdo Bogdo, the bog beast you'll wish you could unsee. Do you love big, ugly creatures with a taste for destruction and gore? Do you have a soft spot for the kind of beast that makes you ask, is this what nightmares look like? Then Ogdo Bogdo is your new best friend, even if he's not the friendly type. From the Star Wars Unlimited card game comes the Ogdo Bogdo, the only creature whose breath could stop a lightsaber and whose smile could make even Jabba the Hutt squirm. This bog-dwelling menace will eat your soul, figuratively of course, but there's a chance he might literally try. Why Bogdo is the star of your deck? Unstoppable? Sure. He's the definition of chaos, obliterating everything in his path with the subtlety of a drunken wampa. Strategic? Maybe not. It's not like he knows what tactics are. He's more into smashing everything within reach and laughing maniacally. Morally ambiguous? 100%. He's not a hero. He's not a villain. He's what happens when evolution forgets the concept of limits. Unreasonably healthy, just a solid pile of meat with rage problems. Attack power. He's like the force of nature that you hope doesn't have a grudge against your deck, but it does. Special abilities? Does he have any? No, but he'll crush your hopes and dreams in an instant, which, surprise, is more effective than any fancy strategy. Sure, he's gross. With that swampy, mucus-coated hide, he's the sort of thing you pray never ends up in your nightmares. Sure, he's violent. He's got more rage than a rancor on a bad day. He'll eat your face off before you can even blink. But here's the kicker. Ogdo Bogdo isn't just a card, he's a statement. He's a reminder that sometimes in a galaxy far, far away, it's not just the Jedi you have to worry about. Sometimes it's the swamp-dwelling nightmare creatures who want to turn your day into a disaster. So, why not let Ogdo Bogdo take over your deck? At least then you'll have an excuse for why your strategy is falling apart. It was Ogdo's fault, obviously. Grab him now before someone at the table realizes how utterly insane he is. Because let's face it, the galaxy needs more chaos, and Ogdo Bogdo delivers it in spades. Or should I say claws? Ogdo Bogdo, because your deck is too safe, and maybe, just maybe, so are you.
Do
Ogdo
you?
Bogdo can be found in Star Wars Jedi Survivor about hour and 20 minutes into the game.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You too
So,
can meet him. He's a boss creature.
I apologize for how long-winded this is. Ogdo Bogdo, I had an
I hope you
experience.
charged him extra for as long-winded as he was. Like the sponsors get X amount of time, and if they run over their time, we should charge them extra. Just saying.
You're right. I will send an email to Ogdo Bogdo's agent, and we'll see what kind of recompense we can get for that. Earlier earlier this week and today, I've been getting abused by this card consistently. Um, and the deck that likes to play it, the leader that likes to play it is Han 2. It's the Red Heroism Han from the movie. And Han has the ability to, um, oh, damn it, I don't remember now. I have to go look.
That he's the red one.
Yes, Han Solo. Here we go. Yes, he has the action. Exhaust, play a unit from your hand. It costs one less, deal two damage to it. So people are playing Ogdo Bogdo out of this leader, and on turn
One.
one. And on turn one, they have a 5/3 angry creature that can attack. Ogdo Bogdo says that if he's not wounded, he can't attack. So Han Solo gave an Ogdo Bogdo a dog treat, tricked him onto his ship, and is hunting down all of his enemies with it.
That's
It's
fucking hilarious.
it is hilarious. And as a turn one drop, that's really overwhelming. Really overwhelming.
As
And
a turn
nothing
one
on
drop, that is disgusting.
that card says that you can't put attachments on it, lightsabers, hotshot
No,
blasters.
no,
Yeah, it's
that's
awesome.
that's hilariously that is hilariously terrifying.
Yeah, it's a
And
cute
then he
combo.
heals. If he kills something, he heals. Don't
Yeah,
forget that part.
yeah,
But I
right.
think that's the key is you don't want him to kill a unit because then he heals, then he can't attack. And
Well,
then your opponent just ignores him, like, fuck this guy, whatever.
no, no, no. He still takes the damage from attacking too. So you just make sure he's not taking 3 damage.
Yeah, just make
Fair
sure he's
enough,
not
fair
taking
enough.
critical damage. So Ogdo Bogdo, I think, really speaks to just how cute this set is, and a lot. There's a lot of really interesting, unique two-card combos, and I am loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Before we before we start talking about the set, do we want to talk about book club?
Of course,
And then we're going to talk about the set basically the whole rest of the episode. So
of
let's
course.
kind of pimp the book club and where we're at with it. And
Yes, I will attempt to be disciplined. So, book club
Okay.
update. The next book that we are going to read is Dark Force Rising in um, the Thrawn trilogy. We're a little late getting it started. My plan is to review the book, or excuse me, read the book next week, um, and maybe we'll have that ready for our listeners in 2 weeks. I would say 2 weeks. So that's pretty much all there is to
Dark
say
Force
about
Rise.
that. Dark Force Rising. If you want to go pick this up for yourself and follow along with our terrible tangents, then please do.
Adventures. Yeah, yeah.
I'm done with book two because I think it's one of the better books in Star Wars, and I was excited to read and hit the conclusion, so I'm done.
And you didn't
And
have pneumonia.
you two suck for being sick and broken and shit. Like, knock that shit off.
Yeah, speaking of which, Robert, how have you been?
I'd say I'm like 85% better. Notice how until just now I haven't really coughed at all. Um, the intercostal space on my left ribs along the back, more towards my spine, is still giving me some problems. I'd say the pain is constant 3 and flares up to 5, which for me is pretty significant. Um, Still not getting sleep at night though, due
Mm.
to all sorts of various things. Tonight I'm hoping for like a solid 8 hours, and I think I can convince my wife that that's what we need to do is go to bed and get 8 hours of sleep.
Sleep is the best healer. It
Yes.
really is.
And that's why being sick sucks so much is because very often your sleep is disrupted due to pain or coughing or discomfort or
And one of the primary
shit.
reasons why sleep gets harder the older you get.
Yep, fair.
It's
Very
rough.
true.
How
How about
about
you,
you, Mr.
Tangent?
T?
Doing all right. Work is very long these days. I did get to go play a rival card game. I mean, nothing actually rivals the card game I went and played, but Final Fantasy set in the pre-release was super fun. It was also really interesting to play a different game. I don't play Magic basically ever. Seeing a whole bunch of the mechanics that I'm not used to and going, oh my God, there's just too much to this game now. Cards that flip that are in your deck that you have to run sleeves for because like they flip. Like you're trying to make a digital card game in a real life card game. They're very interesting, but there's just so much bloat, I feel. There's
Yes.
too much bloat.
Yes.
Other than that, got to play some 40K on Monday. Got my ass absolutely whooped. Not sure what I'm doing wrong there, but we'll figure it out. And get to go play again on Saturday. Looking forward to that. So, I have not been sick and or broken. Knock on wood. Knock on all the wood that you can, because out of the three of us, I am not the one that is sick or broken and haven't been in a little while. So, hopefully that stays.
Thank
I
God
know a
for
guy.
that.
We can come up your kneecaps.
Yeah, dude, I will drive up there and
Yeah,
fuck you
that's
up. Just
fine.
let me know.
That's okay, because then we would play games after that, so it would be okay. And I don't need my knees to sit and play a game.
I'm definitely planning on coming up for some hot tub time.
Come on up for hot tub time, baby.
Yeah, definitely.
And you see me in 3 weeks.
I'm so excited about that. Um,
3 weeks to the day.
I'm going to bring your cards, and I'm going to bring some Twin Suns decks, and I'm going to bring my wife and my son, and we're going to have a good time.
It's going to be awesome. And I'm not working this time. I was working last year.
You're right. And God willing, you guys are feeling better.
Fucking A, man.
Uh, I've been, I've been, uh, I've been better, if I'm being honest. I am broken. I'm dealing with aging issues. I have an injury, and or not really is it an injury? I have osteoarthritis in my right knee, and the source of that is stems from a high school basketball ACL tear. Don't ask. I'm 5'6". I had no business playing basketball.
I was just wondering how the hell you were playing basketball.
Well,
Like, my grandmother could shoot over you.
actually, I was really fast when I was younger, and I was really good at shooting threes. But the long and short of the story is that I was playing angry, and I was not being a good sportsman, and karma rewarded me justly, and I am still paying that debt to this day. Um, I've had a doctor's appointment. I told the doctor point blank, I want a knee replacement. He said, we'd really like you to wait till you're 50 or 60. And I said, I'm not going to make it because I work on concrete and I'm standing all day long, moving all day long. It's either a knee replacement or a change of occupation. And neither option is great right now. But I think the knee
Mm-mm.
replacement is going to be the best thing for me. Which means I have to be an adult in a number of other ways. I have to figure out, logistics, time off work, how to get my time covered. Thank goodness for Oregon paid leave. I have to fill out some online paperwork for that, and then square things away with my HR so I don't get fired accidentally. And that's a thing. So other than chronic pain that makes me grumpy and silly, um, I'm all right. I have another trainee at work, and he's competent and fun, kind of a comedian type. So we've been having a good time just getting to know each other and talking a lot of shit, but also very productive. So he's a hyper diligent individual, and so he's been very helpful, especially with my knee being such an issue. He's helped me tremendously with moving parts and gathering supplies, and um, very, very gracious man. Uh, my knee is also a point of concern for the Galactic Championship. I just don't know how that's going to go. We'll see. I'll do my best. Uh, I played Star Wars last week at my local. We did 3 rounds, best of three. I went 2-1, and I played Kazuda Mono Yellow. And man, that was a fun deck. Fun deck to play. Kazuda is such a great leader. And the reason why is any leaders that break the 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 baseline of the game are really interesting to me. And specifically, what I'm talking about is after he uses his action to turn off an ability somewhere, he gets to take a free action to do anything he wants. Claim initiative, attack with a unit, play another card. You get it. And it's awesome. It's just really awesome. It feels really good. The deck's proactive, it's fast. Plays really well out of red too. Probably better out of red. But
A really, really fast deck.
yeah, it's really cool. I'm enjoying it a lot. And it's kind of like my side fun deck that does generally well. So it'll go 2-1 at a tournament consistently. And yeah, uh, I think that's it. I'm all right. I'm one day at a time. I'm a blessed man. Could be a worse.
Fair enough. All right,
Let's talk about spoilers.
spoiler time.
Or this, what,
Dude,
is it even right to call it spoilers? Let's talk about Legends of the Force.
before we talk about the cards themselves, and I think that the thing we should do is go over leaders, then bases, then units, or cards. I think that's my preferred approach. But before we do that, are you guys aware of the reason why it was all revealed?
I did hear some rumors, but I did not do any digging because it sounded like drama, and I didn't give a shit. So
Oh,
I did not dig.
it was absolutely drama. So basically, what happened is that some competitive teams were leaked inappropriately the full contents of the deck, which gives them a significant advantage going into the Galactic Championship because they have that many more reps to play. And so FFG, I think, did the right thing, and they're like, nope, that's not appropriate. Everybody gets everything now. And that's why it was all released. And so I
That
want to
is
say that I think that that's a really good response by them, and I appreciate them doing their best to level the playing field.
is 100% what I heard. That is also 100% the right thing on FFJ to do. I hope that whoever did the leak, if they are able to identify, loses their playtest status, having been a former playtester. Fuck that shit. And whoever leaked that information should no longer be able to playtest any game ever, because that's just not not okay.
Well, it's
Uh,
unethical.
it is unethical, and it ruins the competitive viability of your game.
Also, you if you're leaking things in advance to the benefit of your friends, you have compromised the integrity of the game and your own personal integrity. So if by some chance in the universe the person who leaked to the competitive teams this set hears this conversation, I just want to say fuck you and you're a piece of shit. Stop doing that. Do better.
Do better, be better.
I thought
Later.
because I was pretty detached from the drama, like I didn't really engage. I read some stuff and I was like, this seems weird. I don't have the bandwidth for this. Fuck that. When I saw all the spoilers come down, I actually was giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. I thought it was because the Galactic Championship is 3 fucking weeks after the release of the game, and they wanted to be fair to everybody and give everyone as much opportunity as possible to get in their reps because it's going to be hard enough getting their hands on the card stock. Like chasing down legendaries is going to be a trick.
A bitch. It's
Pain
gonna
in
be
the
a bitch.
dick.
Anyway, that's my hyperbole.
I do agree that FFG did the best that they could in the circumstance and got everybody the cards. I'm not sure if it was as quickly as possible. I'm sure that something somewhere could have been done quicker, whatever. But the response seemed reasonable and fairly quick.
Yeah.
So I appreciate their response, at least that we have seen.
Amen to that. Good job, FFG. Again,
All right, cards,
let's
leaders,
go.
Leaders.
leaders.
I think that there are many, many fun leaders here. We don't necessarily need to go over every one. Um, some of them I find kind of bland and boring. Ahsoka I find kind of bland and boring. Especially because she's a 6 drop. It's a meh for me. I like the Kanan Jarrus one. I think creature decks, like you mentioned, PJ, I think that's making that becomes a lot more viable. Supreme Leader Snoke looks really fun. Darth Maul looks really fun. Um, that new Anakin leader is, I am just so tickled pink, and he is who I've been getting reps in because I am tickled pink with that. It's just so much fun thematically. I feel like there's so many different ways you can build the deck. I'm doing it primarily red, but because of his leader ability, I can play any villainy event or upgrade card. Any villainy event or upgrade card. And so people don't expect when you're running Heroism Red to encounter a blue villainy card that kills your 3 cost unit and I get an experience token for every upgrade on it. Like people just aren't expecting that. And so it's fun.
They
I want
are, but they aren't. Like this is again one of those you sit down, you put down Anakin, and you're instantly thinking what could be in the deck. And you are giving away some information just by putting this card down. So they
Sure.
may be expecting that, but there is. I will also say there's a lot more options by saying all you need is some black on that card and it needs to not be a unit. And there's probably going to be several different flavors of Anakin running around.
what I love about Anakin Skywalker tempted by the dark side specifically is it. Well, God, I love. There's a few things I love that as time goes on, this leader is only going to get better because there's going to be more villainy cards. Um, Thematically, out of all of the leaders in the set, he's arguably number one. And hear me out.
What
His
do you mean by
total
number?
number not number one in terms of power. I just mean number one in terms of theme. Uh,
Yes, absolutely.
what I mean is because of the unpredictability of this leader, it really feels like they captured Anakin toward toward the end very well. Like here's a
Yes,
leader
absolutely.
who is a toolbox leader, quite literally. It is so unpredictable. Also speaks to not just the end of the trilogy, but um, I'm sorry, end of the second trilogy, but also to the spirit of the type of tactician that Anakin was through the Clone Wars, because he was constantly getting himself into trouble and then getting out of traps. He was constantly disobeying Obi-Wan, but doing cool
What's
shit at the same time.
what's the flavor text for the red Anakin leader card? What it takes to win. And that's the Clone Wars Anakin card. What it takes to win.
Yep. And then this Anakin kind of turns that up to 11. And I'm not personally excited to play this leader, but I'm really glad it exists. It's
I am
really
so
cool.
excited to play this leader. The more I've thought about it, the more excited I get.
Hell yeah, dude. And you're off to a good start just in your testing.
I think it's definitely one of the most unique design spaces. I think that there's some really interestingly designed leaders in here. I really like Anakin. I also like the fact that they have a mirror of a dark, of a villainy only leader in
Yes.
Revan. I'm not
Yes.
sure if he's good or not. I don't see how you build him yet, but that's just because I haven't really dug into him. I also really like Avar and the way that she comes into play, and the fact that she's just a big, massive. You flop your dick on the table when she comes in. Um, with that 9 cost, but then you're reducing it when you use the force. I think that makes a very interesting design decision for your deck. So I don't know if she's good or not, but I like the design space that she has.
Well,
And I think those are
speaking of Avar, that's the leader that I have been playing the most out of the new stuff, out of Legends, and I'm having tremendous fun just tooling around with the sideboard and trying out new things. I'm really excited about the lightsabers. Um, I've got 9 lightsabers in this deck. Uh, she she plays really low to the ground and has some really surprising mid to late game plays. For example, Kelleram Beck, when played, search the top 7 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and play it. It costs 3 less. That is amazing. The new 6-drop Mace Windu, when played, use the Force and deal 4 damage to a unit. Solid.
That is so good. That's
Yeah.
in my Anakin deck. So fucking good.
The new
Um,
4-drop Kiadi Mundi that draws 2 cards when you use the Force.
what the hell
Excuse
is
me.
that?
Yeah, I remember when we were
Okay.
talking shit about this unit a couple weeks ago, and now that I've seen it in play, oh my god, it's awesome.
we weren't talking shit. Like we know the unit's good. That's completely not what we were talking about. We're just talking about the fact that he's not a red card. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not a
It's a yellow or a green.
yeah,
Well,
he's a
green.
yellow or a
Yellow
green
has too
card.
much already.
But as far as the design space, whether they deserve it or not, he's definitely not a red card.
Yeah.
and then you have Eve Koth, Spiritual Warrior, 4 for 5/4. When defeated, you may use the Force, and if you do, put this card into play as a resource. Built-in
Get there. We're
ramp.
talking about leaders.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I
We're
was just
talking
saying.
about leaders.
I was going over just the general toolbox for a VAR. It's really strong, and there's a lot of fun, proactive interactions with the Jedi. I would say the disadvantage of a VAR currently is that she wants to play she wants to play mostly ground units and mostly Jedi, so that leaves her very vulnerable in space. But I think that's on brand for this style of leader.
Fair. I think all four of the new red leaders look really good. Having a leader who takes advantage of the new mechanic hidden, which Third Sister does, I think is cool. Fisto Ray and Darth Maul all do the same thing, just a little differently, which I'm fine with because it's red. Um, like I think the red leaders came out really good. I'm not excited about any of the blue leaders except for Kanan. Um, I like Ahsoka because I like Ahsoka. The yellow leaders, Barriss Ophi, that's a deck I'm building. I built that today. The yellow villainy. I think there's a lot of interesting play with that because it's a spin off of the old Asajj leader, which is you get cool things when you play events.
Well, I want to play Barris out of red, and you know why.
Saber throw.
Saber throw and force throw.
They'd be
This
throwing things left and right.
They could have named this set Legends of the Force Throw. Because and I've been playing about 10 games a night just as a matter of course for my own personal reps, and that card is everywhere, literally everywhere. There's a 90% chance when you sit down to play with somebody, they're gonna hit you with a
That force
force
throw is
throw.
going to show up. Of course it is.
I've
There's
lost
so
and
many force units.
I've lost and won games on the back of force throw. For a
Right.
one-cost card, it just does
Yeah.
so much. I
It's
want to
so
point
good.
out, and I really like look at the blue leaders for a second. Kylo Ren,
He
he has
looks
a really
sad, and I know that scene in the movie. He didn't look sad.
Um, that's because he knows he's a bitch. I'm just kidding. Action, discard a card from your hand. If you discard an upgrade this way, draw a card. I love this leader. I love this idea. And then when you deploy him, and he deploys on 7, play any number of upgrades from your discard pile on this unit, one at a time, paying their costs. Fucking fantastic.
So you turn him into Grievous.
He becomes a Voltron. And yeah, it, it, it it's so good. I've seen it happen a couple times, and it doesn't feel good when it happens to me, but it makes me happy. I like leaders that dance around the mechanics, the core mechanics of the game in this
You
way.
could do you could do General's Blade, Fallen Saber, and Kylo's, and now he's suddenly like an 11, 12, does three different things on attack.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't be hard to make that happen either, I don't think.
You just have to get to 7 resources. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to live to turn
That,
6 and be able to deploy all that stuff.
yeah, that's the hard part.
well, and there are what what's cool about it is it cycles cards also. So you're thinning your deck as you go with the intention of loading up your Voltron later, and there's a whole arsenal of upgrades that protect you, that give you overwhelm, other on attack abilities. There's one that even makes it so that you can't be defeated. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's a green card. But it's things like that. Like you can set yourself up for a an infinite Kylo that is just untouchable, and all you got to do is survive to turn 7. It's super cool. It's super cool.
And there are plenty of removal cards in blue and plenty of shield cards in blue. And if you and restore, and so if you pair it with like green or something as well, that should take care of it for you.
Yep, play low to the ground, lots of upgrades, and on turn 7, it's their ass.
Unless they've got, what is it, Rivals Fall, which just immediately tells your leader to go the fuck away.
Mother's House In is interesting. Uh, I would say that her ability is kind of mediocre, only because all of the new cards have more health. And in their attempt to slow down, and I think that's largely because they're attempting to slow down the game with force tokens and the extra health. Um,
Hmm.
you have some observations about the tempo of the game. Do you want to share those with us right now?
Um, so it seems obvious that the way the force mechanic works is to slow down the game, which we've all remarked on previously. And something Chris said, which I also agree with now, having played with it a little bit, is not being able to bank it sucks, right? Like I can generate the force on my first turn with my Anakin deck, but I may not be able to use it for 2 or 3 turns. And so I'm just sitting on this mechanic that does nothing. And I've also hypothetically gained it 2 or 3 more times. But I still beat an opponent in under 10 minutes. And I hit a Sabine deck that beat me in under 5. So it's like, I don't know realistically how much slower the game is going to be. Which is
You can
unfortunate because they say they're aiming for 20-minute games. And, most of my games are sub 12 minutes, win, lose, or draw.
and you can introduce new cards that are supposed to slow the game down, but if you have cards that are very fast and then you introduce slow cards, unless those slow cards are going to slow the fast opponent down, which these are not, then you can't play him because the your opponent's still going to be faster than you.
Yeah, I'm on the fence, and I say that because I games online go fast because people are just crunching repetitions, and when I play games in person, they do feel slower. because there's
That could
again
be a factor too. I hadn't thought about that.
there's more again tactile interactions with tokens and adjusting cards and picking things up and people looking at your hand and looking at your resources. Um, those things take time, whereas when you're playing online, the efficiency of playing online is so streamlined that you can feasibly get through. I mean, I could when I sit down to play 10 games a night, I'm not on the computer longer than an hour. And that's great. That's perfect. That's what I would prefer. But when I go to tournaments, no, my games on average are about 10 to 15 minutes. And I actually don't mind that pacing in a best of three because it gives you a little bit of time to rest. Uh, of all the leaders so far, the ones that I see being played the most are Kanan, Avar, Darth Maul, Cal, Darth Revan, and Anakin. Those are the ones that I've seen the most.
Darth Maul is just such an easy one to play. He's like Darth Maul is sort of like revamped Vader 1, right? But instead
Mhm.
of having me play a villainy and then using a mana, I just use the Force, and now I deal one damage to that, and then one damage to that. It's a low entry card. It doesn't require a whole lot of figuring out what to do with it.
It's also the best precon deck of the two that are being released.
That's true. And I would say that that happened with the last one too, which was Fricky Frack. Um,
Han Solo and
Boba
Boba,
was, yeah, I think Boba was much stronger out of the box than Han was.
100%. And since we're talking about
I like the
precons,
Ray art.
yeah,
The Ray art on that card I think is good. I don't like the character in the movie, but the character in the game seems interesting. If you can see the distinction I'm drawing.
Hmm.
I can. Uh, the second precon is Qui-Gon Jinn, and I I played about 30 games with a couple different variations of Qui-Gon Jinn. I started with the precon and then made adjustments from the precon deck, and I I just can't seem to get this leader to pop. And and I feel like it's gonna go into the basket with Hunter,
Mm,
sadly. So
A lot of the yellow leader design space seems to be this will be really good in this one scenario, and maybe we don't have the cards for it yet. Because yellow's supposed to be shenanigans, and just the cards to support those shenanigans don't exist yet. Or maybe they will never exist, but
and
they have to exist in a very small niche.
and that's okay, except when you're making it the spotlight deck of your brand new expansion. Then it's bad marketing at best, if not bad game design.
well, and his ability, hmm, well, how is the best way to say it? The opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You need a lot of good on-play synergy. Like when you play that unit, it does something, and it just isn't there in the 1, 2, 3 cost. You're starting to get there with 3 costs. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. We should probably move into the bases. I think the bases are pretty quick. There's not anything terribly interesting here. There's 2 cards that do the exact same thing at 28 health, and then there's 1 card that does something a little different for generating force tokens. Overall, I find the bases unexciting compared to the bases we got in JTL. I think the JTL bases were very interesting, lots of different ways to do your decks. We had Lake Country, for instance, which was just a colorless, here you go, right? Um, but these are all, they're kind of meh to me. They 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 are necessary to allow the introduced mechanic to work. The one I'm running on my Anakin is Temple of Destruction, which is 25, and it says when you deal 3 damage to an enemy base, the force is with you. And so I lose 5 HP, but I have to be able to do 3 damage to at the jump. And I don't know that it's worth it, but for the way my deck is run, I'd have to completely revamp the deck if I wanted to move off of this base. So, things to consider. But these bases merely serve the function of allowing you to generate force tokens. I didn't find any of it particularly interesting or compelling.
I'll agree. Like
The art's really nice. The art's really nice. Night Sister there was good. I mean, I think honestly, I think Starlight Temple is the one that I like the least. It's kind of meh to me.
very
Um,
cartoony.
yes, it doesn't
Like
even fit the
80
same language.
on cartoony.
Yeah. I'd love to see some of these in foils, right? Like Temple of Destruction in a foil or Fortress Vader in a foil might be really nice. Crystal Caves again.
Okay.
So, meh. They exist to serve the function of the game, and that's fine. They're a base.
All right. Moving into blue units.
Blue units. I feel like they stepped up the artwork a lot here. Um, what's some new stuff in here? I think Kylo Ren's lightsaber is new that we hadn't talked about already. Kylo
Oh,
Ren's
nice.
lightsaber, bottom right, second row. It's a good way to say F you to yellow, and it's cheap. It's cheap.
I also like the design space that it has with a lot of what they've kind of said of these crossguard lightsabers. So I'm playing my way back through or not back through for the first time, through the Jedi Survivor Game 2, which I can
Mm-hmm.
never remember the subtext of. And it's basically the Claymore, it's the two-handed heavy weapon. And you see that kind of like the crossguard is the heavier weapon, so it gives that like bulky, tanky feel. I can't be exhausted because I'm ready for you. So I
Mm-hmm.
like that design space gets carried over here.
Next one, Tragedy of Plagueis. Next line, I mean. Choose a friendly unit for this phase. It cannot be defeated by having no remaining HP. An opponent chooses a unit they control. Defeat that unit. Thematically, it's great. Artwork is very miss for me on this one, but I like the card itself.
Yeah.
It's his nose. It's his nose to forehead
I
ratio.
do I do wish that this was for this phase it cannot be reduced below 1 HP because you're still going to lose it at the end of the phase.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I really question why you give a shit unless you have an ability to ready and swing and then ready and swing and ready and swing. But there's just not enough resources. You're never going to have enough resources to play the cards that you need to be able to ready several times to be
yes,
able to like board clear because you're just smashing face.
yes. A whole bunch of Jedi and then flying. What's up? Go ahead, bro. Mhm. It's a monster.
One of the interesting interactions that I didn't think of until we were playing the other night is you can give a shield token to something that already has a shield token because that's what you're going to kill. Like, I might as well make sure that that shield token A doesn't go away, and B, why would I put it on something else when I can just put it on the same unit that I have the target on? So that was super fun. Like, okay, Jedi, I think we've seen all these Jedi. I don't remember seeing the holocron. I do like the heal unit. That's some fun shenanigans in there. Do you want to talk about heirloom lightsaber that you were? No, was it heirloom lightsaber that you were running on me the other day, or was it a different lightsaber?
Yeah.
Hmm. No, it wasn't. It wasn't heirloom lightsaber. It must have been
Was it
another one. We've
was
got
it
all sorts of lightsabers in this set,
was
so
it the constructed one?
it was constructed. That's right. Uh,
So good.
constructed lightsaber. We'll get there. We'll get there. Uh,
I had not seen the Jedi Trials or the Jedi Holocron card yet. Look at the Jedi Trials card. Have you noticed this?
that's very interesting.
So it's a one drop blue heroism plus zero upgrade attached to a force unit. Attached unit gains on attack. Give an experience token to this unit. When the attached unit has 4 or more upgrades on it, it gains the Jedi trait. So it's thematic. It's very thematic, right? Jedi trials, 4 upgrades, blah 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 blah. Give it a lightsaber. Now it's 3 attacks. Do something else. Now it's 2 attacks. Um, and I don't know how competitive the card is because how many people are just going to let you take your turn one drop and stack it up into a 5/5, right? Like, but on the other hand, it's just fun. It's just a fun
Mhm.
card.
It's very thematic. I can't wait to play Order 66 on it.
Fuck you. Or like here, look at Jedi Trials and then look at Calm in the Storm, which is just 2 cards over. 2 drop blue heroism. Exhaust a friendly unit. If you do, give a shield token and 2 experience tokens to it. Dude, dude, that's like turn 3. You just turned your nice easy blue drop into something quite significant. Quite significant. I was disappointed that there was not a mono villain or a mono heroism one. That seemed kind of like a
Yeah,
what the
that's kind
hey
of a
thing
miss.
to me. They re- they reprinted Guardian of the Wills.
I don't like that. Don't reprint cards unless it's a base
Um,
set. Don't do
it's
that.
it's not the first time they've done it, and I also think that when you look at Guardian of the Wills and the last 2 cards that I just talked about, it fits together so great. Guardian of the Wills, 2/2/2, Force Fringe. The first upgrade you play on this unit each round costs 1 less.
So you play this on turn 1, and you play Jedi Trials on it on turn 1. GG.
Mm, yep.
I'm still susceptible to things that target because your cost doesn't go up too, but
Sure,
whatever.
sure.
I think it is important that it's heal 3 from another unit, so it is. And for a 1 cost, I'll call it good. All right.
No, it's interesting.
If you want to reprint something in a reset, then you print it in the base set. Don't give it to me. When I pull every time I pull one of these out of a Legends of the Force pack, I'm going to be unhappy because I've already got how many play sets from the original printing of it. I think that's bullshit. I think it is a waste. I think it is 100% waste of design space. Give us a new card.
And they didn't change the art either. Absolutely.
I think that the Tauntaun is hilarious. It's hilarious. I
It's
love
also
the
super thematic.
exactly. I think that that is hilarious. I love the theme that makes me just giggle.
So it's a 3/3/3 blue No second aspect. When defeated, you may give a shield token to a damaged non-vehicle unit. It saves you. When it dies, it saves you. It's funny. It makes me giggle. It's perfect. It's perfect. Axe wolves throw him into a Gar Saxon deck, and now he's ridiculous just for being alive. Awakened Specters was a new card. 4/4/5, nothing. It just says the art is nice. No text. It's whatever.
It'll be nice in a foil, though. It'll be pretty.
Oh, that's true. Um, Chirrut, I think that's just another straight reprint. The Force is with me. Blind Not Deaf. No, it's not a reprint. So, same character, new card. And we discussed the rest of
It's a season
those.
force. I love the art on this. It's not great art, but I love the whale smashing the Star
Yes.
Destroyer. That's hilarious.
Poop. Oopsie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, right, and into green.
In the green. Eye of
Into
Scion looks
green.
like a cock ring.
It does. Uh, okay, here's speaking of lightsabers, we haven't seen this one yet.
Inquisitors. Out of all of the lightsabers, I think that it is probably the least interesting. Um, it's a 2 green villainy attached to a non-vehicle unit. Attached unit gains when attacking a force unit. This unit gets +2/+0, and it's a +1/+3. So if it attacks a force unit, it turns into a 3/3. Um, but only when attacking a force unit. That seems.
It seems on theme,
It's on
and for a 2
absolutely.
cost, I think that it's fairly costed, but I might
All the
want to see something
lightsabers are
more
2 or 3.
interesting. Mm.
All the lightsabers are 2 or 3.
I think that's one of the worst lightsaber designs in all of Star Wars, but that's
There's
a
that too.
completely different matter. The Inquisitor lightsabers are stupid.
Craving Power is a fun card, although it's very expensive for what it does.
Very expensive.
So it's a 5 green villainy attached to a friendly unit. When played, deal damage to an enemy unit equal to the attached unit's power, and it gives it +2/+2. I feel like that's much more reasonable at like a 3 cost. um, because right now it's an alternative to it's an alternative to Overwhelming Barrage, and Overwhelming Barrage has a lot more value, I feel.
Just the fact that Overwhelming Barrage can go here and here and here and here, um,
And it's
as
the
opposed
same
to just one
cost.
place. Yeah. And this +2 does stick around. I mean, that's pretty cool,
Sure.
but yeah.
PJ, did you want to talk about Gunji?
I don't want to know where he was holding the third lightsaber.
Yes.
2-5 in a Wookiee is also pretty darn good because of all the other things that you get out of high health Wookiees.
Yep. Absolutely. They'll grow up.
Probably. You can only reprint Han Solo so many fucking times.
Dear God. Um, I want to talk about Leia.
I don't want to talk about Leia. I want this card to burn
All right, you don't
in
have
re-
to talk about
in
Leia.
respect of yeah, no, nope.
Of Her Imperial Highness Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
So, this unit is a green heroism card. It costs 5, and it's a 5/5 space unit. And the art is where Leia Organa Solo is blown out into space in what is that? This episode 8. And it says, while this unit is in the space arena, she can't ready and gains action. Use the force. Move this unit to the ground arena and give each friendly heroism unit +2/+2 for this phase. The card itself is whatever, right? Like it's an interesting little choice. My problem is around the art itself because I have feelings. I have strong feelings about how Disney reanimated Carrie Fisher after her untimely death. They had a great death for her. Her character died, and honestly, it was a worthy death for the character, I feel. And then the actress died, and instead of just leaving it be, and doing a reshoot, they decided to use digital necromancy and reanimate her corpse and parade her through the movie. And I understand that her estate, I am sure, signed off on it, or Carrie Fisher agreed to it in a clause or a writer or something that was in her contract. But me and everyone I've ever talked to has found it disgusting and very distasteful. And so to see distasteful at best. And so to see it here, I don't like it. And I will never play this card. On principle, I will never play this card.
And to be fair, I we hadn't had this discussion before. I think that uh, digital necromancy, as you call it, is getting better, and I think that there is a way to do it respectfully. And I do not think that this was done respectfully, and I think that that's the problem that you and I share with this. Is it just felt disgusting.
It
It didn't
cheapened the
felt
whole thing.
celebratory. Yeah, and it felt cheap.
It cheapened the moment for in the story. It cheapened the story, and the sequels all felt kind of pretty cheap in regards to their blatant nostalgia milking and whatnot. And the card isn't awesome, which is another sin. Yeah,
And now, congratulations, I'm just a 5/5 space unit
right.
that can ready.
I might have gotten a giggle if they had put undead on it. No.
Yeah. It's not even thematic. It's not even thematically good.
Yep. Yep. Hmm.
Let's all right, let's leave Leia alone.
Yoda infinite lightsaber. Yes, that thing is stupid. Beast.
I was stymied a couple times while we were playing. And look, he's Sentinel again. Oh, he's Sentinel again. Oh, shit. Okay, that's fair.
Oh,
That's
you
fair.
get. Oh, you killed him. Necromancy. I like that they added green ramp in a way that feels fun, right? Resupply is not fun to play. Boring. Turbo Laser Technician is fun to play. Resupply is not.
Very, very, very so. Although I will say the difference between a 3 cost and a 4 cost when defeated ramp a resource and the stats on those two cards is insane. This is a 5/4. Turbo Laser Tech is a 2/1. Like
Yep.
what the fuck?
Yep.
What the actual fuck?
But Elith is a unique unit.
Yep. It also requires you to use the force to get the resource, so
Uh-huh.
it is much more limited. I want to talk about Oppo for a second. I think that this is one of those interesting design spaces. I do think that they could have worded this a little bit better because it takes you a couple times to read it, but also I'm not exactly sure how they could have worded it better. I see what they're going for here, and I've seen other card games try something like this, and it's just really hard. It's really difficult to be able to say if something else has this keyword, you also gain that keyword, but then make it clear that you don't gain the other keywords too. I have a feeling they didn't do that because they want to be able to design new keywords that they may not want on him. So they have to make sure that some interaction 5 years down the road for legacy, or if they want to reprint him or something, isn't broken because they have overwhelm and skippity doodah as keywords. So yeah, I get it. Yep, yep. Hmm.
You can also put a lightsaber on it.
You can give
Um,
him a lightsaber.
for me in this set, you all have seen that Portlandia episode where the guy's just like, put a bird on it.
Put a
Put a
lightsaber on it.
lightsaber on it. That's me in
Fair.
this set. Put a lightsaber on it. Mhm.
I want to play a creature deck so bad. And this is
And you
the
can do
only
it now. You can
reason
do a green blue creature deck, and you can go to town with that shit.
and this is
You
the
do
only
Hammond,
reason that I will
you do
play
Malakli, and go crazy.
a heroism, because he's not a heroism card, he's a creature card. Not playing other heroism cards. He's a creature he turns on the creatures. Oh yeah. Turns them creatures on. That's what I'm talking about. Is I'll run him, but he will be run as a I'm just playing creatures. I'm not a heroism. Like I don't have white. I don't have white on me at all. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But is Ezra a creature? Is Ezra a creature? No, Ezra's not a creature.
Well, but he gives creatures shield tokens.
We'll see. It is the one thing that I've seen that like, okay, this might be fun. Maybe I'll do this thing. Okay. Right. Yeah. Hmm. He is pretty darn good. I like that ability. I also have a feeling that most of the time you don't have a lot of units, so it may be a little limited. You're not going to be nuking something big. You're going to be finishing something off with him. So
It could be fun to play around with with a token deck.
We might actually have ourselves a true control deck on our hands with that much heal. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
This will look so good in foil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think they only did Jedi as Prestige. Or Force users.
I do think that the bones of the control deck are going to rely more on the when played gain health rather than restore. Restore can be really good, don't get me wrong, but it's also really easy to stop. Oh, you played something with restore, I kill it. So I think it's going to rely more on the on play gain health. Okay.
I have to go say goodnight to Torben yet again.
Okay. We will continue running our mouths about cards. Did you go back again on me while I'm trying to go forward? Oh, no, I'm trying to go to the next page and it breaks when I go. Uh, mhm, agreed. It's a form of removal, and if you start getting things that are on attack do X, then it doesn't matter if you can't attack bases. You're attacking and potentially clearing a unit and getting whatever that bonus is. On attack, restore. On attack, draw a card. Whatever it is, you can have it again for $1. Yep. Mm-hmm. Agreed. That'll be fun if you have the ability to run several creatures at a time. But it looks like creatures are tending towards big units, so I don't know if you're going to be able to have many creatures on the board. So you may just end up +2/+2 for 3, yeah. Or maybe +4/+4 over 2 cards. So we'll see. We will see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to red. So the Grand Inquisitor, 3 for 3/4, hidden, raid 1, other friendly Inquisitor units gain hidden. I think that that can be some fun design space if you're running a really heavy Inquisitor deck. Um, and it just says they gain hidden, so that would include your leader when it comes into play. So the turn it comes into play, it can swing and it can't be attacked back. Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, that's one of the decks that I was playing the other night, and it was super fun. Super duper fun. Yep. I was running Strike Ship out of it as well. You're getting a turn one swing for 3. Uh, Often you're swinging and then you're claiming, and you just did 6 damage off of your 1 drop or 2 drop. Your turn 1 drop. There we go. Uh, Silly good. Silly good. Yeah. Yep. Yep. 100%. There's a lot of card draw. Yep. And I think it's important to note that if you don't have any cards, you don't have to discard any cards. So if you're playing your hand out every turn, it's just free 3/3, like extra 3/3 a turn. There's no downside. Yeah.
Yep. Not if you're using ECL, you don't. How? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You're running ECL. How are you having a second base, sir? Thank you.
There.
That's the point. That's the point. Okay. Glad Glad we're on the same page.
I think there are some event cards that do it. Um, but it's the primary method is through bases. Like that is hands down the easiest way to do it. And if you're not doing it that way, it's a much harder combo.
There's no card that would get it for you on the ECL ambush attack because there's nothing that happens that fast. Yeah.
No, no, yeah. So no, we like your idea. We just don't think it works outside of Twin Suns.
And Twin Suns doesn't have two bases.
We can figure some way to make it work with Twin Sun, I'm sure. Death Field, super great. I might need to put that in my Anakin deck. Looking at it, deal 2 damage to each non-vehicle enemy unit. If you control a force unit, draw a card. Okay, cool, cool. Um, Adigalia is a ridiculously good card for the price. 2/2/4. When an opponent plays an event, deal a damage to their base. What? Stupid good. Yes, but they have to invest in it because it's got 4 HP. Now it's got anywhere between 5 and 7 HP.
And then here's your Kiadi Mundi again. Oh, yeah.
Such a good red card. Such a good red card.
She was going in the creature deck, but we're not ignoring aspects. I'm pretty sure the
Um,
creature deck is going to be green-blue.
Kit Fisto's Ether Sprite is so good. So good. So good. Um,
Right.
mhm.
Defeat upgrades. Yeah.
I have I I played several Kazuto games against Kazuto today, and dropping the Aether Sprite on turn 5 like completely destroys their 10/10 Millennium Falcon. They're trying to ram down my throat. Just like, no, it doesn't. No, you can't do that. Sit down. And usually I've stalled them out by that point by doing what is that? What is that yellow card that lets you exhaust and then they don't ready the next phase? I can't believe I forgot. Yeah. So throw no good to be dead on it. It stalls it out for 2 turns. And so they'll keep buffing it because it's not removed. And then I just made all of your time worthless.
I really like the design on Ray.
Yes.
That's a new design, so I'm interested to see more cards when drawn do X. So I hope that they do this more. Yeah, yeah. And it does mean that you want to draw a lot of cards during the action phase because it is not just when you draw, so the end of turn draw
It
does
is
not trigger
specific.
this. Yeah, it is during the action phase. So, mhm.
And now you deal 4 total damage.
Yeah, I think that's super fun.
Mace is so good. And again, so put him in a hyperspace foil.
Uh-huh.
Sexy.
I just noticed this as we're going through, but I'm pretty sure that Robert likes this card because the art. Tell me that this isn't the Gambit pose.
But it's 100% the Gambit pose, and it's
Okay.
even purple. It's
Yeah,
even the purple
purple,
color.
and here's the cards coming off. Like, yeah, that's the
No,
Gambit pose. All right,
it
moving
absolutely
on.
looks like Gambit. Like 100%. But the card itself is good. 666 Overwhelm. When played, you may use the Force. If you do, deal 4 damage to a unit. Which is also a very Gambit thing to do. I arrive and throw a card at you. I don't know why they did this, but it's beautiful and I love it. You know what? That could very well be.
Probably, probably.
Oh no, I had moved on to the next page, so um oh, it's on the screen for Chris's sharing. I saw focus determines reality. 2 aggression, heroism. Each friendly force unit gains raid 1 and saboteur for this phase. I love cards that do that sort of thing. And the Night Saber is great. 2 cost, red white, attached to a Jedi non-vehicle unit. +3/+2. Like, there's nothing to dislike about that.
It's just a brick of stats. I think it's a little boring. I wish that it was more
Sure.
interesting,
Sure.
but yeah, it's a brick of stats,
Put a lightsaber on it.
which also tracks for red. Like, it's just hitting you in the face as hard as possible. So, it tracks for red.
For what he's trying to. Yeah, yeah, like he's blowing through a plasteel door and he's all like, hmm.
Why wouldn't you use the strap-on to open the door? I mean, clearly you haven't been opening the right doors. All right, moving right along.
I like Jedi in hiding. Um, I like Jedi in hiding. 3/3/3 hidden. When defeated, you may use the Force. If you do, opponent discards a card. Each opponent discards a card. So it's also super good in Twin Suns.
I think most things say each opponent because they want it to be usable in Twin Suns. So it just gets better in Twin Suns. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yep.
Wampa's a reprint. Hunting
Yep.
Nexus, I'm pretty sure,
It
is a
is.
reprint. Um, Wampa's a good card. I like running it in Red Anakin because I like doing Overwhelm.
Yep. And I'm pushing this along. We have been talking for a long time.
We have been talking for a long time. Blockade Runner. Oh, Blockade Runner is interesting. 5/4/4 Rebel Vehicle Capital Ship Saboteur. When this unit deals combat damage to a base, you may give an experience token to this unit. That's
I
cool.
wish it was Overwhelm instead of Saboteur.
Fair.
I think that would be more thematic, but whatever.
Oh, have you guys seen Invasion Control Ship? That's super neat, and that brings a lot more love back into a Grievous deck.
It's 7 cost. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
never going to see play. Yeah.
it's super expensive. I agree. You. Exploit.
Exploit.
Isn't there a leader that gives exploit? It's not Grievous. Grievous gives Sentinel. Wasn't it Dooku? Yeah, I think Dooku won.
Play a Separatist card from your hand. It gains Exploit 1. Yep. So you would have to basically have to run green red.
Yeah,
Could be
green red
interesting.
droids to make it work. Yeah, yeah.
There you go. You've got your next Vulture Droid idea. Bendu, I think, is super strong and super interesting, but again, it's probably never going to see play. He's too expensive.
Yeah. 8, 10, 10 on attack, deal 3 damage to each other unit. So Bendu reaches into space and smacks capital ships in the face.
As he should. I don't even think about Twin Suns when discussing most of these, because of course it'll see play. Like most things will see play in Twin Suns. Fair.
Um, we are closing in at an hour 40, so I think we should stop at red, pick up the next one, finish up with yellow and blue. It's also 10 o'clock.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 100 cards that we hadn't seen. Yeah, go ahead. Mhm. Yes. Is that all sets or just this set? Okay. 2 heroism is strange. Having 2 heroism seems low, but just a thought. Yeah. What's what's the distribution of Sith? I imagine it's significantly lower.
right? Because they'll all be villainous,
Yes.
so you're not going to have as many.
Yeah. Interesting.
Right. Uh,
It
yep.
is.
We need to
But
shut up and go to bed.
I love you all. This is super fun, and I'll see you next week.
All right. Love you all. Good night. Bye bye.